Hello, beautiful and lovely gamers. My name is Jonal. Let's talk about Rainbow Six Siege, a game that I've been covering, or at least playing myself for a very long time. I got into this game the very first season. I played the beta, and it didn't really run on my laptop that I played on back then, and didn't really perform as I wanted it to, and I was lagging, and the game was crashing, and so on. So I thought that the game just was, not going to be something my old laptop could run. Later, I checked it out as the first DLC came out for Frost and Buck, and I've been playing the game ever since. And I would say, if you've never played Rainbow, if you want just another shooter game to either to take off some time from a game that you're being tired of, like Overwatch or anything else you just want to break, you like tactical shooters that is competitive, that requires both game sense and accuracy, I highly recommend Rainbow Six Siege. It's one of the games that while you're playing it, the skill ceiling, your mechanical skill, will increase generally as an FPS player if you play Rainbow, because Rainbow just has a lot of good, just basic mechanics in it that every guy that want to do anything in FPS needs some of these tips and tricks to just make your game easier. You can pick up the game right now and you play for like 20 euros if you want to try it out. It's a pretty good game. You get all the maps. You have to, as I understand it, just unlock the operator normally. If you pay more, of course, then you can get all the DLC with all the extra operators. But 20 euros for this game right now as it stands is something that I highly recommend. But let's talk about why I really like Rainbow Six Siege, why you might want to actually check it out. Now, of course, a like on the video always helps against the abusive YouTube algorithm. Same goes for the content. Comment down below, what do you think about Rainbow Six Siege? Have you played it? Do you want to play it? What do you think about it? It's something that new players should maybe be aware of as they buy into this game or join into the game that you have experience with, or do you have an experience with Rainbow Six that you want to share with people from the community so we can help each other out? This is, of course, my recommendation for somebody playing the game for a very long time and bought every single like DLC pack. I bought every single season pass that they have up until now. I will talk a little bit about why I might not buy the next one, but I've been doing that just generally and just been playing the game on and off from time to time. Never really grinded it competitively, more just played the rank mode for fun, just to test my skills and because it's such a satisfying game. And that's really what you can define Siege as. It's just a generally satisfying FPS game with a very competitive background. So how it works is essentially you pick an operator just like everything else. That operator has different guns that it's allowed to use, different gadgets, and different special abilities. Firmer, for example, can breach reinforced walls. Buck has an underbarrel shotgun that he can use to break walls and so on. And like, of course, as we all know, and as most people that play video games do know, Siege is known for its destructible environment, which is one of the big fun parts about the game, that most walls and everything like that is destructible, meaning the map will not be played out. You can tear down walls, make kill holes, you can shoot through walls. If you know that there's a guy there, just shoot through the wall and you can hit him and kill him through the wall very easy. All headshots are one-shots. Doing that, Siege learns two very good principles if you want to be even decently competitive at the game. Number one, aim at head height. And learning that is something that, from somebody that's a professional coach in Overwatch, and the private coaches, like low elo people as well as very high tier and top 500 grandmasters, aiming at head height is something that a lot of people don't learn. They don't teach themselves, at least in games like Overwatch, to actually aim at head height. And as we all know, for any FPS game, being able to land a headshot with double multiplier just makes the difference between a good and a bad player. And you learn that in Siege because you're forced to. If not, then every fight you're going into, they only need to hit one bullet and you hit them like 3, 4, or 5. With a recoil system that on some guns are pretty high. Like some of the guns do kick a lot. And this is one of the things that I do like about it. It's not just teaching you how to use head height, it also teaches you to learn spray control. And with a very predictable and consistent spray pattern that every gun has, you can learn how to control very easily, bringing in the learning and the discipline of learning muscle memory of how to control firearms in video games. So you will learn that for Call of Duty, if you play PUBG, if you play Battlefield, or any other FPS in the future. By playing Siege, you'll already know how to put it ahead, how to control it. Doing that, I find that the average Siege player that I face, well, of course, when I play in the low healers, because I play every season, then just place in whatever. I place in like gold or something like that, and then just play around there. And sometimes I push myself towards the platinum, but I'm mostly just stuck around gold, and just having fun. The average gold player down there has way better mechanics than what I will see from other people from other FPS games and just generally casual FPS players. That I will lose firefights to them in this game because they have learned to just land a very tight angle headshot with their guns. Another thing that I really like about the game is that you also learn to track corners. You learn to pre-aim anything, because again, there's a one-shot mechanic. The TTK is so fast in Siege, and you're out of the match if you fuck up. So it's a very quick learning experience. If you die in Siege, there's no respawn, so you're out. So that's a very quick, like, what could I have done better? Like, it's a very quick, like, learning experience from it. And because of that, you clear every single corner because there might be a guy in there. Of course, droning and gathering intel is important, but by clearing corners and clearing spots and locking onto different areas where you assuming that people are normally standing or no one would be locking down themselves, it allows you to learn how to get good control of the mouse. And it does that. What do you see in other games like, for example, Overwatch, is that a lot of people, they aim at like walls, or they aim down in the ground, or they aim at where the enemy is not supposed to be. Then they see the enemy team, and then they react with their accuracy. In Siege, it is basic knowledge that you need to pre-aim, because you don't have time to rank when they can one-shot you, right? There's no way to retreat backwards or just teleport backwards or anything like that. You have to learn how to just immediately get on to the next opponent, and therefore you need to learn how to pre-aim. And that's some of the great things I learned from Siege. On top of that, the game is fun. I like this game just because the pure clutch factor. You feel like you have a big impact on the match. If I play League of Legends, well, of course, you do have a big impact on every competitive title, or else it wouldn't be a competitive title if it was just randomized. In League, even if you play, pretty good, if your team feeds, they feed. And at that point, sometimes when you're just too far behind in League, it just doesn't feel like it doesn't matter what you do. You just can't do anything because there's a stat block in the way. The same goes with Overwatch. Sometimes in Overwatch, even when you're really, really good, when I'm Grandmaster and I play in Diamond, sometimes even I cannot do something about why we're losing because the enemy team has too much health, too much healing, too many shields, too many abilities, too much resources, and my team can't deal with it, and I'm not able to get in front of that. There's just too much to bunker down. When Siege has a headshot, one-shot mechanic built in, you only need 5 bullets. That's all you need. You only need to tap 5 bullets in the head of the enemy, and they will die. Then, of course, game sense and positioning are added on top of that, making sure that you only take a fight against one, because as soon as 2 barrels are on you, it's very difficult for you to do it. So being able to abuse angles and corners to kite backwards, and therefore only face one guy at a time, very important. Being able to know where people are, and potentially lock down a different angle with gadgets, or knowing the environment that it will take him so and so long time to get here. So even though there's more of them, I can fight this guy, and then I know that this other guy will be late to the party, and I can abuse that. And that's, some of the things with Siege. It also, of course, teaches people to stay alive, since you have a certain impact on the match. Dying early, meaning that your gun is out, meaning that, a simple mistake of somebody not checking a corner where you were at, or being able to win a fight against you, would make huge things for you. Right? So staying alive is, of course, also one of the mechanics. And I will just point this out. So this is like where I like it. If you see the background that's running right now, the footage, this is me playing a game. And this team that I'm on is a 4-man party that is on purposely throwing. I don't know why they are. I think they're trying to D-rank on purpose. If so, then I would recommend you play as a 5-stack, not a 4-stack. So they on purposely tried to throw my game. And what they did, of course, they suicided grenade themselves. So they just hold it and then choke it and explode. There's no penalty for that. It's just like, oh, you fucked up, haha, funny. But they, of course, did it right out of spawn. And you can see how I can still clutch this, and I do. By first, of course, the enemy being very cocky and sending people outside to kill me in the spawn as they believe they can outduel me. Then again, it's very unfair. I think this is like low gold versus me, and I am Grandmaster, and I can see them through walls due to the highlighting system. So that's the first thing that I clear. I just clear these guys in the beginning. I get in, I drone a little bit, get some intel, right, which is the important part. I just check that the bomb site is clear, push in, I defuse all of that after killing Rook, or I think it's Stock or Rook, one of them. I kill him, plant the bomb, hide backwards, and then I just take down the 2 others. And that is a 5-man clear, where I took barely any damage. And I managed to come out on top of that with fairly control. And having that control, that much impact on the game is really satisfying. I felt so, of course I was really upset that I felt that I found throwers in the game and people that on purpose were losing or stuff like that, and just trolling to troll. Of course that's not very fun when it's your competitive game, and now you know that the rank that you lose now, of course you have to regain that, which is a waste of your time. But still being able to clutch that is very fun. And there's so many examples of when you can clutch in this game if you're good enough. And of course, sometimes I've also been on the receiving end, where I've been alone on the map and I've tried to clutch, and there's just too many cameras and intel on me, and the enemy team is constantly pinging me. There's two of them left, which I should be able to do, but there's 2 of them left. There's too many walls up, there's too much barbed wire, there's too many cameras, and I can't with the operator I had chosen at the time, which I don't remember. I think I was playing Ash. I was playing Ash versus 2 operators that was locking down each bomb site in Crossfire, and there was no way I knew where they were. I didn't have any drones left. I couldn't break any of the reinforced walls, and there was too many cameras. At that point, it's lost. So it's not that every fight is won by you, but in the fact that you have so much impact on the game, and each kill is so satisfying because you know. Yes, it does take some time to get some kills. Yes, I'm droning and gathering intel, but when you get a kill, you know how much impact you just had on the map, because that's one of their guys that will not respawn, that's out of this fight, that could potentially, because of everybody being able to one-shot, every guy you take out is potentially him 1v5ing your team. Because of the impact that every player has with a firearm, it becomes so much more satisfying when you get a kill compared to if you just like butchered a bunch of people in Battlefield. You know, getting a kill in a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty Unity TDM, well, it's satisfying, you know, with the sounds and all, and it feels good to get a kill. You don't feel like you really did much impact. You just kill the guy. Right now you can move on. In Rainbow, you get a kill because there's only 5 people in the game, because every people has so much impact on the map. You just took out a major threat for you, your team, and this round, and that is a 1 for you. And I love that. I love this game so much. I want to cover it a little bit more. I was actually thinking about making guides or content on it, even though I'm really fucking bad at the game compared to what I should be if I want to make guides. Would you guys like to see more Rainbow Six Siege content? If so, tell me what down below. And again, tell people if you guys have any tips, any advice, anything that you want to tell people about the game before people might buy it or check in on it. Again, down below in the comment section so we can help each other out. And of course, like on the video against the abusive YouTube algorithm really helps out. It's really appreciated, especially when I don't make Overwatch content, that all these other videos seems to get suppressed. So I need to kind of get out of that hole where the YouTube's algorithms are fine with me making other content in Overwatch. Of course, subscribe, bell notification if you like all things FPS. I will start covering a little bit more non-Overwatch stuff, just because I've been enjoying so many other games and I want to share my passion with you guys. But as always, guys, thank you so much for the amazing support. I love you guys very much. Please take care of yourselves and positive as always. My name has been Jonal, and you guys keep telling me in your process.